Taylor, was there anything notably that you did differently from the first quarter where you kind of looked stagnant offensively in stretches as opposed to the rest of the game?
I think it's, just kind of a product of the schedule coming back and trying to just get our legs back, after a long West Coast trip. It's pretty typical in the NBA. It's no excuse, and I was just thankful that we were only down 10 in the first quarter, and our guys just kept fighting, and, you didn't put yourself in too big of a hole, to get out of and then to come back and, have a halftime lead, win the third quarter, win the fourth quarter. That's big time. Lean into our depth tonight. I thought our bench was really big for us. Those guys stepped up. Jay played a lot. I thought Luke was really good tonight, defensively, playmaking, knocking down some shots. Scotty had a good burst there in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. And then, Tripp was just consistent all night long. Been riding him a lot, of course, but his defensive presence, his rebounding, obviously the scoring, inside and out. And, it was kind of some lineup changes. We put some funky lineups out there for sure, just trying to kind of find a groove and see what boost we could get out there. And luckily the second quarter kind of gave us some life, and then we just cleaned some things up, simplified our defensive game plan. It wasn't too complicated coming in, but we just really just cleaned it up. And then, we just leaned in some different rotations in the second half that I think kind of gave us some juice there.
You mentioned a few things there, but and the legs. But was there something in particular that you think sparked you in the second quarter there?
Not really. I just think it was just kind of staying the course. We just kept pressing upon the guys to just get more movement in the half court. Obviously they had a pretty good, offensive quarter in the first, and then it was just kind of tighten some things up even in the second quarter, adjusting a couple of pick and roll coverages and, really executing the initial game plan about some of the personnel tendencies. And I think once our guys just kind of started executing that a little bit better, we started getting a few more stops. Our pace started to pick up just a little bit more. Obviously it wasn't to the level that, we expect, but it was just a way different second quarter than the first. So just a couple of minor tweaks there, and then just credit to the guys for just having the mentality of, hey, just stay the course. We're just going to get into this game. We're going to get into this game. And I kept just drawing on the whiteboard. We started here. We're going up. We're going up. We're going up. And, maybe that was the trick.
All right. Taylor, this sort of underscores what Jaren has been giving you guys all season long, but to put it all together on both ends of the floor with the stat line that he had tonight, just kind of, explain what his impact has meant.
His resilience has been awesome. The way he's taking care of his body, obviously playing, pretty heavy minutes, night in, night out, and the workload offensively from a, playmaker spot. The ball's in his hands a whole lot more, but then he's doing a really good job even moving off the ball when we get into the half court. And, then he's just dynamic on the defensive side, whatever his coverages are on the ball, off the ball. I think he set a career high in rebounds tonight. You see his playmaking, 5 assists again tonight. He's had 6 assists, 4 assists, 5, and it's just been steady and it's been consistent. He's understanding the impact he can have on both sides of the floor, no matter who's out there with him. Obviously, he wants to embrace even more of the challenge, the next man up mentality, but he's doing all within the team scope. And when he's got space to go score, he's scoring. He's playmaking when things are cut off. And I just loving his defensive activity at the rim, blocking shots, getting steals, and then obviously the rebounding is a huge impact, not just defensively, but when he sneaks in those offensive rebounds too.
Coach, I think my math is right. With 5 minutes left in the second quarter to the rest of the game, you only had 5 turnovers the rest of the way, and I think that coincides with your turnabout. Do they go hand in hand like that?
Oh yeah, our turnovers definitely impact our defense, and it just. That's hard to come back from. It's like kind of deflating. Let's be honest with it. When you've got 20 plus turnovers, but it was 5 early. I think it was the first time I was like, guys, we're just playing into crowds constantly. They're giving us the space reads. We know how much their rim protection really can bother us, when we still get to the paint, but that's going to create something on a closeout for us. So I thought we did a much better job. We were stuck in neutral, even as the game went on, but there was just enough pockets of just a couple big time plays that just gave us a rhythm. But it was great that we were just having a clean sheet, more or less as the game went on.
The back. We got a lot of Jay Huff alongside with Jaren. Instead of seeing Zach and BC, what was it about what Jay was able to bring to the game today that was so impactful? And how important is it for your bigs, your front court rotation to be versatile?
Yeah, we're obviously it's great when we've got the depth. Obviously, excited to get Santi back here pretty soon. A lot of big combinations that we can roll out there. We've been talking about Jaren and Jay because we've seen Jay and Santi together have some success, and I think with just some of their defensive game plan tonight, we wanted to just kind of create some different shape out there, different space out there. Jay obviously knocking down shots, whether it's in the half court, it's trailing in transition. It just puts our defense in a different spot. I thought he had a really nice burst there at the end of the second second quarter, and kind of saw that, and something just clicked where I was like, hey, maybe we need to lean into that, early in the third if they're going to continue to, guard the same way. So, having his shooting ability, his defensive presence, we're always telling him to be even more active, blocking shots, coming up with rebounds. It's something from a combo standpoint we've been, thinking about, and it was good to see us roll it out tonight and have some success with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's big. I mean, I know the question a moment ago about, turnovers being better in that. We're always, I think most teams trying to just win the possessions game. And I think he's had, someone told me like he started 3 games and he's had 10 plus rebounds in every one of those. I mean, that's what Jitty does. And, he'll have his nights where he's knocking down shots, has a big and one in transition. He gets steals, loose balls. He had a couple loose balls tonight that I thought were really big for us on the defensive side. But that rebounding is huge. If we're going to turn the ball over a little bit, we got to win, the offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding match. Luckily, we, did solid on the turnover front. And then just that rebounding, it's just huge for us. I mean, we want to reward ourselves with great activity on the defensive side. And, sometimes that can be an issue for us, and luckily he kind of cleans that up for us.
Hey, Coach, can you speak to Jalen Wells' maturity? I know although he struggled with his shot tonight, he still got to the free throw line and had his most rebounds of his career.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of decision-making for Jalen tonight, obviously just with the lineups we were putting out there. The ball just kind of gravitates to him. I think he does a great job finding space. I think it's, 2 games in a row, shot didn't fall. I mean, obviously he was phenomenal against Sacramento, and, but he doesn't let up on the defensive side. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Playmaking, he's one of those guys that finds a way to get into the paint, whether it's a baseline drive or a wing drive. And, we still got to move collectively better because I think his decision-making is improving. And, I got the full faith because he's confident. He misses a shot, and the read is to shoot it. He's going to shoot it. He puts in the work. And the greatest thing is it doesn't matter what his offensive output is, as you said, great that he got to the free throw line, but 8 defensive rebounds, 10 total rebounds, and then just his defensive impact, executing game plans, making it tough on guards, wings, whatever it is. He never gets phased, and that's a credit to him.
With Jaren, I mean, this is a game where you just fed him over and over and over again. Has there been sort of a shift in his career where he's gotten to that point where you can just kind of give him the ball and get out of the way versus maybe what he was 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, and we're still kind of figuring out best places to put him. Teams are putting, big fives on him. They're putting athletic forwards and wings on him, and that's the diversity he's shown over the last 2+ years is just his ability to, dominate on the inside, one-on-one. Now he's seeing double, triple teams even more than last year, and I think his poise has been good. We're still trying to clean up our spacing and making sure we're really tight there with our movement patterns when he's got the ball back to the basket. And then when he's facing up, you give him any ounce of space, we want to put him in those spots, whether it's create out in transition, create on a swing, create it off of a pick and roll, whatever it is, to have another guy that, throughout the game, end of game, that I can lean into just based off what I'm seeing from the defense. Got full faith that he's going to score, and he's also going to get the free throw line, and, his playmaking has really, improved a lot in the last, 12+ months. Great. Thanks, everyone.